Hello everybody and welcome back to Supermarket Simulator. So, like many of you, I am going to have to restart my supermarket from scratch after the recent patch. All the mods that I was using, quite a lot of them broke, and obviously it's broken the supermarket. I'm sure you're aware of the story. You've seen a lot of other creators having to restart their supermarkets as well. Not a bad thing. It happens from time to time. It's the risk you take when you use mods. Perfectly acceptable. But if you do not wish to restart all of your progress from scratch, then this video is for you. So the first thing we're going to need to do is I'm going to create a new game. So I'm going to create a save. We're going to call this test. This is the better save mod, by the way, if you're wondering how I'm having multiple saves and starting new saves. So we're going to start a new save here. And this is what many of you would have then been greeted with when you start again. Now, how many of you are thinking, oh, I've got to restart my store level again. I've got to go up from $50 to wherever I'd managed to get it. A lot of hours into the game. I think I personally have put about 60 to 70 hours into this game. So it's a lot of grind if you've been grinding away for those store level points and that money. So if you don't wish to start entirely from scratch, then this is what you're going to need to do. So first I'm going to save and come out of this. So what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to find your save file for Supermarket Simulator. So I'm going to talk you through how to find that. I'm going to go through all the different menus to get to that point so you can follow along. So if you go into Windows, if you go into users and then go on yourself, so whatever your user is called, click into there. And then you'll see that I have app data here. You might not see app data if you've never done this before. So if you just go to show and hidden items, that might be how yours looks and you don't have it there. So if you just go to view, show, and then show the hidden items, you'll see app data will arrive. Go into that, and then you want to go into local low. And then you want to go down to Nocta Games, which is the developer. So you go into Nocta Games. I still have the demo and prologue in here, but you should just have Supermarket Simulator. Make sure you go into that. And then in here are your save files. So your save files are these ES3 files. So as you can see, I've got quite a few. You may only have the one. I've also got some other things in here that have been left over from some of the mods I've been using. But what you're looking for is your latest save. So for you, it might be the time and date of just now, or whenever you last booted up the game, that will be your save file. So what you're going to want to do, so for us, we've just created our test file, as you saw. So once you load up your save file, you should end up with something looking like this, particularly if you haven't done anything yet in the game. It will just be a fairly basic file that doesn't really have a lot going on as of yet. But one thing it does have is it has money. So that's our $50. Well, let's say I had $20,000 in the bank before the update. Well, I want my $20,000 back. So I'm just going to type 20,000 in there, and that will give me $20,000. You can also have licenses unlocked as well. These start in the 20s. I think the best thing to do is just to give yourself more money than you need. So if you gave yourself, I don't know, 100,000, 200,000 or something temporarily just to unlock the licenses, because you don't actually know what the licenses are here in terms of you don't know what products you're unlocking. So if you're unsure of which licenses you had unlocked, particularly if like me, you've not done them in order, I recommend just buying them through the game. But if you are aware of which ones you do specifically want unlocking again, you can just type them in. So 21, we can do comma 22, 23, 24, and 25, for example. As long as you put a comma in there, they will work just fine, and that will unlock those specific licenses. But as I say, you're better off, I think, having more money than you need, buying the licenses within the game, coming back into the save, and then putting the money back down to wherever you used to have it during your gameplay. Well, the next thing we want to do is we want to get our store level back, because store level 1 is not exactly store level 80 after 65 hours of grinding. So what I'm going to do to find that is I'm going to go Control F, you're going to type level into here, you're going to hit enter, and then it will find it for you. You can just scroll down, but there's quite a lot of information, so it's better to just use that to find it. So our store level is here. I'm going to change that to level 80. That is going to put me back to level 80. There's other things you can change here as well. So the completed checkouts. So the completed checkouts that you need to unlock cashiers, for example. Let's say you had done, I don't know, let's say you had done 1,200. Well, you don't really want to do 1,200 again, so you can just type in 1,200 and that will give you 1,200 completed checkouts. You can also do some of the other things here as well, store level points and store upgrade levels you can change as well, but we'll leave those as they are. If we come further down, you can actually give yourself some employees from the outset as well. Again, you could just give yourself more money, and once you've got your store level, it's not really an issue, and you've bought storage and stuff, it doesn't really matter. But if you wanted them there from the beginning, same deal, 1, comma 2, comma 3, comma 4. That will give you all 4 cashiers, and the same with the restockers, and that will give you all of your restockers. There are other things you can change within here as well. A lot of this isn't really filled out at the moment because this is a brand new game, so I'm just going to hit save. I will quickly show you before we come out of this menu one of my old saves. So this is from my main series that I was doing on the channel before the update, and as you can see, I'd got a lot more licenses unlocked. You can change things with the loans as well, but you'll see objects and their positioning. So if anything ever were to break and maybe goes through a wall or something like that, you can't actually access it. If you can locate it, you probably could move it in here. I haven't tried doing anything like that myself. Please back up your save before you try anything like that and test things, because everything you ever do in the game is saved in here. So you can change a lot of these things. If you ever do, please back up your save. Do not do it without backing up your save, because you can end up messing up the entire save. But there are a lot of things you can change here if something goes completely wrong. But that's not what we're doing today. Let's go back into the game and see if our changes have taken effect. Okay, so here we are back in the game. So we're going to click load save. We're going to load our test save. And as you can see in the top right hand corner, we have $20,000, and we also have store level 80. We have our restockers back. We also have our cashier. Let's just have a look to make sure some of our other changes have taken effect. It looks like we've got some licenses, so that is good. If we go into hiring, you can see we have indeed completed 1,200 checkouts. We also have got all of our staff, as we already know. Let's just have a look at our products to make sure they're there. Yep, they're there. Unfortunately, these textures at the moment do not work, but we do have products to put on our shelves, and we have money to spend as well. So it's a little bit of a workaround. If, like me, you have found that your supermarket no longer works and you do not wish to start all the way from level 1 and build all the way back up again, if you do, that is great. But for those of you who don't, this is a workaround. You'll be able to get your store level back to where it was in your previous playthrough. You'll be able to give yourself a little bit of money to buy all the stuff again and put your money back to where it was without, again, having to grind away endlessly to get to where you were before. And you can just work on filling your supermarket up with the new shelving and the new customization options. So that is a little bit of a workaround. If, like me, you found your supermarket was no longer working and you don't wish to start from the beginning, this is how you do it. And you can do it without mods as well, which is quite nice. So if you have found this video useful, make sure you leave the video a like. Consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already, and I will see you for another video very soon.